Good morning, survivors, and happy Monday. Today, we are going to talk about some motivation because today is Motivational Monday. So, I would like to talk about living an intentional life today, all right? As a survivor, it's something that we need to learn how to do. After we've been abused by a narcissist, we're often a little bit less intentional than we should be. So, let's get started.
My name is Angie Atkinson, and this channel is all about teaching you what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want.
But first, let's get coffee. All right, we've got the coffee. Let's do this. So this weekend, Sophie went to a birthday party, like I told you, on Saturday, and that turned out really fun. They had a slumber party. And then on Sunday, we had a play date with her friend and her mom. So that was fun. I'm going to show you some pictures of that really quick. And this morning, I'm having coffee with my sister, who surprised me by showing up at like 6 a.m. That's cool, though. I enjoyed it. So here's Piper and Sophie while we had coffee. Hello. So a lot of times when you have been in a relationship with a narcissist, you might find yourself feeling while you haven't been physically abused, you have been emotionally abused, okay? And you may have been physically abused, but today we're talking about when you've been emotionally abused and mentally abused, and you've been with a narcissist who doesn't really have the capacity to understand other people. Do you understand what I mean? And so that therefore they don't have the emotional capacity to really provide any support to people. And so while they continue to kind of throw you under the proverbial bus of life and tear you apart and make your life harder, they will also cause you to forget who you are a lot. And they forget you start to feel negatively, you start to hear their voice in your head all the time. And so what today's video is about is focusing on how to live intentionally despite that. Okay, so let's do this. So what does it mean to live intentionally? If you're living an intentional life, it's the opposite of having to live a life of chance, okay, with a lack of awareness. So what are your long-term goals? Why did you decide to watch this video today? Why did you decide to choose what you ate for your last meal? And if you can't answer those questions without giving it a little thought, well, you're not living intentionally. How about that? So how do you choose to live an intentional life? Well, we're going to talk about that right now. I'm going to give you some tips. So number one is to realize that intentional living requires making decisions, okay? You can't have any intention without having made a decision first. So sit down and choose a direction for your life. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to own in your life? What kind of life do you want to live? You got to make some choices, and you got to take action on those choices every single day. Number two, you have to evaluate your behavior. So if you're going to live an intentional life, you've got to evaluate yourself and understand who you really are and why you do the things that you do, okay? Why do you fail to do the things that you don't do? And I want you to ask yourself a few questions here. What motivates you every day to get up and do what you do? And are you moving towards short-term pleasure, or are you avoiding long-term pain? That's a common thing for us when we've been in an abusive relationship. And then I would ask you, are your actions directed toward an intentional purpose? And if not, do you think that's something you can work on? Now, before you take any action from now on, I want you to ask yourself, what's my intention? And I want you to know, are you heading toward the refrigerator to satisfy your hunger? Or is it to ease your anxiety or cure your boredom? Or do you want to fuel your body in a healthy manner? You see what I'm saying? Evaluate your chosen behaviors and evaluate those that you avoid and learn what makes you really tick. And you've got to learn to be okay with that. You've got to know your values and your beliefs. And you've got to know that knowing those can make it a lot easier for you to live intentionally. Okay? So you might have the intention to live a life based on contribution, honesty, or love, but your belief that everyone should be able to read might guide your life. See what I mean? Giving your values and your beliefs priority can make many of your formerly challenging decisions pretty obvious. If you know who you are and what you're all about, it can change the world for you. You're going to want to stress important actions over easy actions. So intentional living stresses taking effective action over personal comfort. All right? It's about having a higher purpose more than it's about taking it easy. It's about continually asking yourself, is this the most effective I can be right now? And if not, what can I change? Number 5, choose your habits. Were your habits intentionally chosen, or are they habits that came around because you they just kind of developed on their own? It's really important that you choose your habits, because habits can mask your intentions without even realizing it. And often habits they remove the thought process from the equation, but often they can actually be the reason that you fail, the reason that you have the problem that you have. So if, say, your problem is you need to lose a few pounds, well, your habits are directly related to that. See what I'm saying? So when you can change something and you want to change something, this is how you do it. You have to know your intentions for every day. Know them in advance. You might have like a broad intention for having financial freedom, right? And of course, that's great. But a narrower, a more specific intention might be, I want to be debt free. From there, you might have the intention of saving more money so that you can pay down your debt faster. And your intention for today might be to avoid to spend any money that isn't absolutely necessary. See? Number 7, be proactive. So if your apartment lease is ending in 3 months, start looking for a new place, unless you want to keep the one you've got. The alternative, of course, is to wait until you're out of time, and then your options are significantly limited. And you can't really live intentionally in that case. So make sure you're being proactive about everything, and realize that if you don't, you might be forced to roll the dice and take whatever you can find on short notice. And this is the opposite of intentional living. All right? Number 8, remember that the key to intentional living is mindfulness. So that happens to be the case in every part of your life. Mindfulness is the cure for like literally everything except the common cold. And even then, I'm not sure that's not the case, because, you're only as sick as you think you are, right? But you have to be mindful, seriously, of your intentions, your thoughts, your goals, your actions. And knowing that when you are truly mindful, you can really live an intentional life. So mindful, be in the moment, be where you are in the moment. Right now, I'm sitting in my office on a purple couch in my pajamas. And I know exactly where I am, and I'm talking to y'all, and I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not focused on anything but this right now. See what I'm saying? So being mindful is being present in the moment and understanding what you're doing. An intentional life will create more for you than an unintentional life will create. It will create things that are more along the lines of what you actually want in your life, instead of what you think you might need to have. See what I mean? What people have told you, what the narcissist told you should have. The fact is that you've got to make conscious decisions, and you've got to question your thoughts and your habits and your actions. And you need to be more aware of your desires and choose your behaviors accordingly. Know what you want and act in accordance with what you want. Habits can become a serious issue for those people who are seeking to live intentionally. But if you choose your habits intentionally, you can change all that. So just remember to be mindful and take responsibility for your results, and you'll find that more of your results please you. All right, I'm going to wrap up for now. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Thanks as always for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. Oh, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Right down there. All right, I'll see you soon. Oh, one more thing. Don't forget, if you go to booksangiewrote.com, you can get one of my books for free for the next few days. And I'll put a link up there for you to which one.
It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body. Take care of your soul. Nurture the real you and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot. Take it now. And the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.